Good afternoon, everybody. This is Bulldozer Investing. Today is May 8th, 2021. It is 3:32 p.m. We're here to review the tickers that were requested from yesterday. Before I do that, so how do we request tickers? Through Twitter, basically. So we can, I post weekly. This is my Twitter handle, bulldozer_INVST. Every Friday, I'll post tweet, and then you can also comment under section to request your tickers that you'd like to have reviewed. After I go over them, I record a video. After the video is basically pushed out into the channel, you can go to the YouTube link and basically click on the description. It'll give you the time bookmarks. You click on them, it'll take you directly to that ticker and the time location of the review. So having said that, let's go ahead and start our first ticker, which is American Airlines. American Airlines resistance at $22. We've drawn this extension. Yeah, it is a Fibonacci extension before. I see a push towards $25 on American Airlines, but it needs to get over the $22 range. Support is clearly right at the cloud bottom, which is $20. First level of resistance will be 23, basically the top of the cloud. But also we can draw another trend line here. Okay, there you go. So it's top of the trend line. It's very critical that it breaks above that trend line. We can do the trend line here, and if things go wrong, it can also push all the way down to if $19, $20 first, and then $18. These are the worst case scenarios. Of course, we do have to recognize some of the patterns being in the chart, and also the very important break above points, which is $22. So I would love to see American Airlines basically close above and maintain above $22. If not, then if it plays this channel out, you're looking most likely into a pattern like this, up, down, up, down, up, down. Okay, so you don't want that to happen, so bulls have to push above $22. Next up is BNGO. So let's take a look at BNGO. Pretty much we could potentially play a double bottom here, and if that's the case, I can draw an extension very quickly. Looking at levels of 643 to 674. So this level should be your target. Basically the cloud top. When the price is below the cloud, basically it is on a bearish trend. When can this change? Either it needs to break, and it was a break, but it was a false breakout of this trend line. Okay. And the support seems to be right around here. So there's clearly a pattern here going on. I would say that two things can happen from here. First, it can push up and go down, or the second scenario will be it can push and it can basically push up, come back to get a support, and retest 774. So these are the two scenarios. I'll mark the negative scenario in red, and I'll mark the positive scenario in green, so you guys can see both the scenarios. Okay, so either way, not a definitive formation at this moment, and I don't see a clear direction. And it's been trending down, so you can say that this has been trending down into a little wedge. If it plays out, it plays out. I would say these are the two scenarios. You're looking at 674 best case for next week. Our worst case would be within a month. It could also drop down all the way down to $4 area. So you'd have to watch out for that. Best to protect is this level, so I'll go ahead and also mark that level right here. It cannot lose $5. Okay. Next up is CLF. So let's take a look at CLF. CLF here looks bullish. And if it does, and if it did, it looks like it did break above. You can count this as well. Actually, let's do that. So if it maintains above the next week, that would be cool. I think this is definitely a bullish pattern. We'll give you price target in a second. So there you go. Let's go ahead and draw an extension. It's a picture play here. I think it's heading towards 2266. That's the goal. Support is clearly the 50% extension right here. It was 1922. 2002 or 2003, I'm sorry. 2003 will be your first line of defense, and then it's going to take up, the resistance will be 2266. So these are the levels that you should watch for. We could do a regression channel or fib channel, basically from here to here. Nope, I'm sorry, did I mark something? Let me see. Something, yeah, regression trend, there you go. So that would be your trend right there. And obviously here, up, down, up, down, up. Hit the mid-level, and it's going towards this area. Might hit the mid-level again, and then finally push up here. Let me fix the color, because I played around with the color previously. So let's go ahead and make this blue. I think this was blue last time. Okay. Yep, and let's fix the channel colors. Let's just kill the opacity. There you go. Oh. There you go. Alright, so that's your channel. I think this is the play. It'll probably push up to 22 and then come back towards 20 and then all the way up to 23.34. That's what the pattern seems to go with. I like the double bottom here. Actually, let's fix the extension. I'm going to play around with the extension a little. When I like the chart, I like to play around with it. And I like to play around with it a little. I love this double bottom. Sorry about that. 1 second. Yeah. There you go. Support is 2033. That's what I see. I see a W and it'll flag and it'll probably go up from there. Okay. Next up is CRM. Salesforce is, I wouldn't do like swing positions in this, but rather it's a long-term investment. I think they do have pretty much a hefty position in Bitcoin. Let's go ahead and basically delete these. Again, let's draw another regression channel, basically from here to here. The channel is pretty much clear. Let me go ahead and make the channel lines a little thicker. Actually, where do I? It's color, and it doesn't really actually allow me to. Visibility, no. Yeah, it's weird that it doesn't have me change the thickness of... Oh, there you go, okay. I could actually do that from here. Just trying to get used to actually let this stay, like the midline can stay thin. There you go. Alright, so as you can see the trend line here, up, down, up, down, up. It could hit like this, okay? Or possible other scenario is that you can have the up bounce from the midline and then retry the cloud top, okay? So that would be a second scenario. Let's change the line. I'm going to change the line of up to orange, down to orange, so that it's better this way, and the base can stay orange as well, doesn't matter. There you go. All right, so here you go. These are the scenarios. You see the ups and downs. Let's delete this pitchfork because it doesn't even exist anymore in the possible scenarios given. Let's just make this chart more clear. There you go. You see the scenarios here. You get the ups and downs. So it's either going to hit 188 or it's going to bounce from 214 and retry 237. I think 237 is very critical point for a resistance right here, which is basically your previous top from last week, and also the cloud top. So that's where things are going to get very interesting. Other than that, your next support line is going to be $200. So you could be trading in this range. You could be trading in this range right here. Okay, that would be healthy because you do want to build a base. So you do want to build a base like this. That would be a healthy, positioning. So something like that. Okay. Let's see what happens, but let's keep these arrows and see what happens. These are the possible scenarios. Support line is 200, resistance is 237. So it's either going to watch for bounce from 215. If it doesn't, by the way, this is a weekly chart. Let me go ahead and do the daily chart. Okay. So it doesn't really matter if it's daily or weekly. I think the weekly chart was much cleaner. But these are your scenarios. Okay. There you go. Let's take a look at FSLY. I know it had some terrible week this week, a huge gap down. Let's delete all of this, make the chart more clear. Lost the footing, slipped. And then we're gonna do one thing, is do a retracement from the start of the run from $20 range, and then we're gonna do all the way at the top. Okay. How could I adjust these at the color base? The thickness, which I will not have. I don't know. I'll have to play around with it, but it's hard to see. But here you go. So there you go. This was the 61.8. It lost it permanently now. I would say pretty much it needs to get back above 46. Okay. If it doesn't get back above 46, then it needs to hold 40. Okay. And this is a very simple, you don't have to be a very expert. It's a basic trend line activity going on here. You can even fix it this way, it doesn't matter. Yeah, there you go. Okay. You could do it starting from here and do something like this. Okay. Either way, it needs to hold even 39 right around here. If it doesn't, then you're gonna have a huge gap down here at 25 area. I don't see, and I was asked the other day, I said I wouldn't invest. I think that Cloudflare is a much better investment, much better company. I've said that so many times about this company, and I said that it's at a critical place that it loses, then it's going to go down big, and that's what happened. For now, I don't see potential any more downside, but maybe a bounce after the 3970s. If it does bounce from 3970, it would be great. If it doesn't, then it's just going to keep on going down. When something goes up really fast, it goes down really fast. Okay, just recognize that. Let's do the weekly chart. It's much cleaner that way. As you can see, this bottom trend, it's more apparent. Okay, there you go. So trend is your friend. If it bounces from here, it's gonna go back to 64. That's 50% almost, okay, or more than 50%. I don't know. Let's measure it. 61%. Okay, that's a 61% move. Now, is it worth it? Well, I measured the 61 from where it should bounce, but if you're measuring it from where the low is, it's 57. Okay, so I'm saying like it should bounce from this orange line right here. Should it? I mean, like, I'm not the one to say it should. Like, I don't get to decide, but if it does, okay, you're looking, even if it bounces to 57, it's a good play. Do I see much more downside from here? Well, you look at the candles, right? Every time it goes down big and it has like a huge candle, a red candle, it can continue for next several weeks, and we've seen that from 1, 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, right? Anytime that it goes up, if it goes down huge, it continues. So I don't know. It might. I'll tell you where the support line would be if it continues going down. Is this top right here? Okay. So $34 would be my range of just, entering and trying your luck. But I've been saying that it lost. It's in the. I think I've been I don't know who it is. It might be the same person. It might not be. But after this red candle, I said I wouldn't get in. And since then, it lost 50%. So this is a stock where right now, I would say it has more potential of upside. The risk to reward is that you pick up from 41, you could put a stop loss at 34, maybe even tighter stop loss. I don't know. But if you want to, risk it, I would say that the bounce from 30 or getting in from 34 would be much better idea. If you want to get in now, just know that there's a possibility of going for 34, 35. Upside, I'd say play this trend right here. There's other trends that you could play. I mean, I just drawn what I think it could do is $54, 50, like around here, $52 if it does bounce. So higher risk to reward ratio, but again, I wouldn't be an investor, but maybe a swing trader in this one. Next up is FUBO. FUBO is literally killing me. Like it's really testing my patience. This is the weekly chart, by the way. Let's go and do daily. So if you look at the trend, that it kind of like it broke above and then it got stuck at this resistance and it kept going down. Look at these candles every day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 straight red candles in a row. So you're telling me testing patience. This is literally testing patience. And look where the bounce was. And you could look at the last video when I drew these lines. I'm not just drawing it as it happens. I'm drawing it before it happens. And that's where the bounce was to the exact cent and the resistance. Okay, so these purple lines do play a critical role. One good thing is that the bottom of this candle pretty much held a little bit, even though it might look like we lost it on Thursday, May 6th, which was my birthday, and then the next May 7th we did come back a little, which is good. I see a potential resistance at 1828, which we marked already. It's not even potential, it is one. And then 1987. Earnings are coming up May 11th, so we don't know. Last earning, this went up $42. I know that after hours it was like 42 something. And then since then, I mean, 42 minus 17, I'm just rounding up, 25 bucks. That's more than 50%. So as you can see, even though the market didn't crash, all of these stocks did crash down. And it's very hard to guess when they're going to come back up. Let's delete all this because they just didn't work out. So when technicals don't work out, we're just gonna have to delete our to save some space from the chart. We have to basically delete it. Okay. And the earnings could be anybody's guess. So if you're playing with margin, just watch, be careful. Cloud is still red and thick, so I don't see any of like turning around. Turning around story would be that you see how thick the cloud is. Until it thins out and it's a transition, then you have some hope, right? We're not there yet. We're not there yet. Every time I think we're bottoming out, we just keep on going down. So besides playing these lines, I don't have any other suggestion here. You can take a screenshot or something or memorize them, because it did play out when I did last week. So last week, counting seven last Saturday, what was last Saturday? May 1st. So when there you go. So when I did this, we basically had the chart up to where it was $20 last week, and I gave these purple lines, and it basically was there. Okay. So memorize these purple lines. I'll make it bigger. These will be your resistance and support lines. Next up is GameStop, GME. So I thought that it broke out, and it did play out to where exactly I said it'll be in the range of 185 to 197. It did hit it after hours, I think, at one point, and then it came back down. Lost the EMA's resistance as well now. It lost the support of the EMAs. If we wanted to extend this line, I don't know where this is coming from. There you go. And it's still in that trend line, which is good. It's coiling up to some move. Of course, it's a hard game here. It's, you know, it went from 30 something to, again, like $350. And it seems like stock has not died off yet, and it seems like it has some potential moves again. But the thing is timing it. So how would I time it? I have no clue when that's going to happen. But when it does happen, it moves violently, and I think it's going to retest 184 and 196 area again. If it loses this trend line, forget it. Then you're going to go down to 130s. You must maintain, so when I say it has a potential of going 184, it must maintain this trend line. Okay. There you go. As long as you're above this trend line, the orange line that I drew, you're fine. You're going to push back to 185 and try to break above that. However, if you lose it, I would do a tight stop on this. Because you know how GameStop moves. When it goes down big. When it goes up big. So you want to maintain this trend line. Okay? Maintain this trend line. And it looks like it's in the border. So it's 50-50. Okay? So I connected this bottom, this bottom, this bottom, this bottom. It's trying to hang out. It did lose it on Friday, so watch out. It's anybody's game. At this point, potential upside is 184, downside is 144. Okay. Next up is GNRC. I like the chart. Looks like it has a potential. I like this pattern right here. I love seeing the surrounding bottom. Okay, that's one sign. The second sign is that the trend is broken above. Okay. And it has some target. So you don't want to lose the cloud. The support line will be 303. That's one thing. The extension that, let's draw an extension. Okay. 345, 359. That's where it would go. Okay. But it is definitely a strong channel here. So there you go. That's your chart right here. The bounce is perfectly off of where it should have been. You see this bounce, bounce, came back down a little, bounce, 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 came back, got a support, bounce, bounce. Okay, this is good. I like the chart. I like the breakout. I think you have a potential of 345. Good looking chart. Next up is NNDM, and this has been, again, it doesn't matter if it's NNDM, FSLY, BNGO, all of these are going to be in the same category, FUBO, everything. Okay, as you can see, it followed up the pitchfork perfectly to a point until the market, all the high growth stock names just came down. And remember those days when I showed you the weekly chart and I said that when you break down a heavy weekly cloud like this, you run up pretty high. But don't forget, when the market crashes, you're probably going to retest the cloud top right here, which is going to be in the $4 range. And at that point when I said this, nobody thought that we'd go there when we're 15, and I kept getting dislikes and so forth, which I care less, but it's happening. Yeah. How far can it go down? Just looking at the regular fib retracement from this bottom here to this top, you already lost the 61.8. If you pull it down further into this base right here, you still lost it, okay, on the weekly chart. So that's one thing, okay? Lost the critical 61.8 extension. Yeah, I don't see any bullish signs here. Like, I'm trying to, this was a nice breakout, okay? That was a bullish move, but then it melted down. I don't know if it was news. I don't know what it was. Okay. This will be your trend. And this is where it should hold. And take it back from here. Okay. It's nice that it held above this low, the candle low right here, which was 650. Okay, it's nice that it held 650, but it's not nice that it went from, you know, $9 to 620, 630. Okay, so if you're getting in from here for a potential upside of $9, again, that's 50%, but I don't know if you're going to get that again. So at this point, 650 shall not be broken down. If it does, you're going to go all the way down to 525 or maybe even lower. So you have to make sure the bulls defend 650, else it's dead. Sorry, but I have to be realistic. I have to tell you the truth, and the truth is that this line has to be defended. Okay, I can draw you further support lines. You know, you get a support here, you get a support right here. Okay, oh, right here. Okay, these are all your support levels, so you can take a picture of it, but you don't want to wish that it goes down that way. Okay, you want to have a bounce from here. We'll see how that works. So now next up is Pfizer. Let's take a look. I'm being asked Pfizer a lot. The issue with Pfizer is that when I do draw a chart for Pfizer, it's gonna be pretty much for a long-term chart, and also Pfizer doesn't just like in the long run, and I always explain this, in the long run, Pfizer has been in a 30s, 29, 30s. It just doesn't move anywhere above. As soon as it goes above 40, it just comes back down. This is a simple channel that I drew. You can also do a regression trend channel. I think I like mine a little better. Let's see if we can delete this and see what happens. Yeah, either one is fine. Either one is fine. We can fix the regression channel to maybe here. Okay, there you go. So this is your channel. Your support is going to be 34. I don't know if it breaks, if it maintains above 40, that's bullish, but I don't know if it's going to contain that. But from the last week, I see a lot of buys. I think people are moving back again to value stocks and dividend stocks. Yellen mentioning that the easing will eventually be, stopped. So that kind of shook off the markets, and I think kind of dove into Pfizer. I don't know if Pfizer and what was the other, is it the German company? I forgot, the BioNTech or something. So they're being partnered, and I guess they're going for another approval, I saw on Twitter. So I'm not sure if it was because of that or if it was because of sector rotation. But I mean, as soon as you're going above 40, it just comes back down. Going above 40, and it could, when I say going above 40, it could go to like 42, but it doesn't hold, it just goes down. Okay. Very critical level, I will tell you, is right here. 43. That's where you want to meet. Another resistance right here. Okay. Another resistance. I would say right here. So you would look at a trading range. Let's do the trading range of, in this zone, then you're fine. Anywhere from 41.85 to 38.78, that's fine. That would be bullish. That would be building a base for the next one. If you lose 38.67, then you're looking at a support where I think 37 area, like high 36 or 37, low 37s would be the area that you could basically average down or get in. Okay. But again, not much of a change. You're looking at more bullish scenarios. So within 3 to 4 weeks, if the price fluctuates in this zone, you're building a base for the higher up. Okay. That would be your potential target. If it doesn't maintain, you're looking at a zone right here. Okay. So two scenarios here. Either you're going to trade in this range and then go up, build it. Because Pfizer needs to maintain some levels. Here you see like resistance, 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 breaks above, again resistance in this area, finally breaks above again. I think the support is going to be much more of actually right around here. Take my words back. Let's redraw the lines right here. Okay. So it would look more like this. Okay. Then that would be a better building phase. But if it loses 37s, then you're looking at a much the mid level of this regression channel, which is 33. Next up is PLTR. What is this, a weekly chart? All right, let's go to daily. Yeah, on my Twitter account, I did mention, I think we just broke down a little bit and we were like around the mid 20s. I said the support zone will be in this box, and it just basically bounced right off of the box. But that doesn't mean much. That doesn't mean much because the earnings are next Tuesday. And the chart looks like it's just blown out. I'm sorry. I mean, I own, my portfolio is heavily invested in, so nobody can say I'm just like, playing around and, getting bulls mad. First of all, I would say that I am heavily invested in PLTR. So trust me when I say this, more than anybody else, I would want PLTR to go up more than anybody else. Okay? But I do have to read the technicals and tell you what I see. And the technicals tell me if after earnings this hits 1855, I think that's where the turning point will be for the upside. However, this will be a bearish trend overall because we're looking at, so let's delete this critical point because it's like, doesn't even matter anymore. And this doesn't matter because it's lost. So there you go. This will be a pattern that I'm looking for. Bounce off of 1850s and then eventually testing out 21, 22 range again. But overall, what I do feel is that this stock is on a bearish trend right now. Not gonna lie about it. Where can I? There you go. If I delete these and just do the regression, Fibonacci regression, by the way. So if this is not just you know, making up things, a regression trend, but this is a regression off of a Fibonacci chart. Okay. So basically, if I delete this box, enough of me proving myself right. So according to the regression channels, it should bounce from here. I was estimating for 1850, but according to the regression channel, this is basically the bottom. One other way to do this, the regression channel, is not to bring it all the way forward, but just bring it a little back and see how it works, and it still works fine. It still is where the bottom is, right here. See, I'm moving it, so that's good. That bounce was technical, but again, this is no way near a bullish sign. No way near. I did Suri Notes, guy that I follow, and he does like long-term charts. He did send me, but I think he needs to update again because when I asked him, it was like at 21. Now it just like the last 3-4 days, they literally killed us. So he might have to redraw that chart and see if it looks bearish or bullish. I still am gonna say $56, and you're gonna laugh, and my target for 56 was July something, right? So if how I would cancel my target, if earnings, doesn't matter what earnings are at this point, sometimes you get great earnings like Amazon, Apple, and it drops down. If earnings go good and we're just back in the cloud, I'm going to go ahead and say 56 still, end of summer. If we go down and break this channel, then you better start raising some cash to average down. See, just like NNDM, we lost a long-term 61.8 extension which we should have held, and which we were for some time. See? Okay. And we just lost it. We need to get above. Okay. If we break down this channel, I will draw two levels. First level is right here, $17.95, so $18. Okay. The second level, $16. Okay. I'm sorry. I mean, again, I'm in this, probably invested maybe more than anybody else listening to this video. Maybe you're invested more, but when I say more than anybody else, that means that I'm invested heavily. Okay, according to my cash position. 22.65 is my target for next week if earnings are good. If we break above that, that would be super bullish. But as for now, like you and I and everybody else that is invested in Palantir, I am waiting for the earnings action. I don't care what the number is, because we just found out Facebook, Amazon, Apple, earnings didn't matter. Great earnings didn't matter. So we're just going to sit and find out what kind of action is going to be taken over. And no matter what, Kathy invests. I don't know if they're picking on her or her timing is bad these days. She bought like 32 million. After that, $32 million worth of shares. And after that, it came down pretty much like 10%. So we're just going to have to wait and see after earnings. But this would be my play. First resistance will be 21.20. maybe comes back, retests the 19 range again, and then goes up to 2265 level. Okay, that would be my technical estimate or guess. Next up is PRTY, Party City. Now, whoa, this looks good. This looks really good. So this is what I want to see in Palantir. You know, break above the cloud, above this is EMA, not simple moving average, but EMAs. Above the Ichimoku cloud, above the EMAs, bullish crossover, buy volume is good. Earnings are coming up, so I don't know what's going to happen, but this is a very nice breakout. I'm loving it. Very nice breakout. And then you can also, again, if you do the regression trend, okay. Remember I said if it break, we just talked about Palantir for a second, right? And I said if it does break above the regression trend, then that's going to be a super bullish move. That's what happened with Party City. Now again, you can also do an extension here. I really love the chart. Again, many of these companies have earnings this week, so I don't know how the earnings will play out. And then the Friday candle kind of died off that run. I think that it's going to probably retest, okay, or maybe even up to here. We don't know. So these two levels, 896 and 985, would be my target. But the earnings are there, so I don't know how that's going to play. And also it just broke above the cloud, and every time it does that, sometimes it tends to come back and retrace towards the top of the cloud and gets a bounce. So let's see what that happens, but I love the play in this. Wow, what a turnaround from, you know, $5 all the way up to 8.30s. That's a great move. I believe the move will continue regarding if the earnings, again, it's like, you know, earnings gap up. Look at it. Look at this last earnings gap up, and it just continued on running. I don't know the last two earnings. I don't know how that's going to play. The last earning, it didn't play well. So let's see what happens here. If the earnings do come back, it might get a support at the EMA levels of 683 price or the 733. So those are the levels that you need to watch. So I can draw a box. Now this box doesn't necessarily mean that it's my target. I'm just saying that these would be the zones that it might retest after earnings if something goes wrong. My target here will be around this range. Right around here. Okay. So let's see how that plays, but what a great chart. I like it. Next up is Peloton. Now, I have never heard of a treadmill that causes death. It did reach our target here, and then I really failed on this one. I thought that we were flagging, and in the long run by summertime we're gonna hit 200. I failed. Okay, so let's indicate that. So after me saying that I failed, I was spot on with the first target, by the way. When it was here, I did tell everybody that it'll go to 160. I did do that one, but I most definitely failed the second one. When we say cloud, when I talk about Ichimoku cloud, you see how important that is. A retest below the cloud, I was like, all right, maybe it's flagging, it's going to go up. Bam. Okay. And then it was a nice reaction on Friday. It was going to 92. That's pretty good. And then they killed it down. Okay. By the way, this is almost a $10 move. Okay. A $10 move in a $90 stock. So first of all, it closed at, what was the closing price? At 83.78. So you're looking at, where's my mouse? Okay, there you go. You're looking at 83.78 all the way up to the next day. High was 92.02. It's an $8 move. Okay. Off of 83.78, picked up almost 10% the next day. but then it gave all of it back. So you look at, let's take a look at the 15-minute candles here. You see this great move and then bound. And then where's the support at the bottom of the clock? Okay. So that was the 15-minute candle after had such a horrendous day, and then just picked up pretty much 10% the next day, but then came back down. Okay. So let's go back to the daily chart and see what's going on here. What's going on here is that the company had very bad news. The product is good, so if you're still in this long term, it's okay, but you got to check this out. Sometimes you can't fight the momentum. Okay. Sometimes you got to let things go and have it get fixed. And in here, in this story, I would just wait for things to get fixed. Potential downside could be all the way down to 70s. Okay, so that's why I'm saying you might want to hold off. Usually the dead cat bounce 10% move, it might come down with a more sell-off. Okay, is it a value? Yeah, you're looking at it, it was 170, now it's sitting at 83. But you also have to know that the company was the same company when it was $40. The sales, I got to check out the sales numbers and everything else, but if COVID cases drop down and people go back to gyms, then I mean things aren't going to look good for Peloton. I know Peloton users don't, regardless like if they go to gym or not, regardless, people use Peloton, that's fine. And I'd rather, work out at home than go to gym. Not because of, COVID reasons, but it's just like I'm too lazy to drive, come back. So you're looking at, my target would be 71 and then a bounce. Either way, I played this angle, either way it's pointing me 70. And also, right here. You see this top and then you see this candle wick. Everything is telling me 70 might happen. Okay, and then the bounce. But we'll see what happens. I can draw another retracement just to see. I'm like digging in the chart to see like anything that's possible. Long term from March lows of COVID, the 61.8 is 76. So let's just draw this box, and our target would be down here. From 70 to 76 range. That's where I would aim at. Okay. Next stock is RMO. Let's take a look at this. I don't think I ever charted this. Obviously, it might have been a merge off of SPAC because I see like a $10 range for some time. Most of the SPACs are in the same situation right now. They have been killed. And what I'm going to say is that when something is in trend, you jump in. When something is out of trend, you get out. And it's kind of too late to get out off of these SPACs at this moment. As long as it breaks above these EMAs, then I'm fine, I'm bullish. So this would be your target. It needs to stay above 939. If it doesn't, I wouldn't touch it. Your support will be right here. Okay. And again, I'm just going to keep on drawing these arrows for demonstration, visualization purposes, how the trend works. It could play down like this. Okay. I could have made this trend line a little, closer term. But I think that this is better. Yep. Okay. So the trend is your friend, and the trend is not your friend at this stock right now. And you're going to say, what happens to, you know, buy low, sell high? We don't know what the low is at this point because it's off of spec and it's like $9. I can't base off of anything. If something is below $9, I can't, or below $10, you can't really guess where the bottom is going to be. So that's the issue with a lot of these spec, you know, spin-offs. So trend is very clear. You look at this chart, and anybody tells me that this is a bullish chart is a fool. Right now, I would be bullish on this stock if it maintains price level above this purple line that I just drew, 936. Okay. Next up is surf. So let's take a look at it. I'm not sure if I've charted surf. I haven't. Again, I think this is a better chart than the last one we reviewed, which was RMO. I like this chart a little better because it seems like we broke the downtrend. Okay. Let's also do a regression. So my chart is a little different, but we'll go ahead and, or the trend line that I drew was a little different, but we can go ahead and this is good. I like that it broke off all the EMAs that I've, you know, 34 and 21, and then it's getting close to cloud, but that's the scary part. When you're getting close to cloud and you get a rejection, bam. Okay. You do want to watch out for that. Let me see if I change the trend line from here. I'm going to try a couple things just to give you yeah. All right, so this looks good. What is my price target on this? I mean, first of all, it's an oncology stock, so a news can change anything. It's all, you know, my price target would be very subjective. 822. I'm gonna be very stingy on my price targets because again, when it's oncology or any kind of pharmaceutical, you can only guess. A news can come out and change anything. $829 actually. 829 will be my target, and if it breaks above 955. Where is the support? I can draw the support very easily because it's been established at this point right here, 707. Okay? Next up is Tesla, so let's take a look at Tesla. Guys, what did I say last time? I said it hit like 646 levels. It kind of got pretty close to it. At this point, there's a clear, let's delete everything. Let's clear, I don't know if there's like a clear chart thing here, remove drawings. Okay, there you go. Simple. I'm gonna try to do as simple as, I'm gonna try to get as simple as I can. So anybody who draws charts, or anybody who doesn't, I mean, you don't even have to draw a chart, okay? And try to get as close to as what I think it should be. Okay, there you go. I think that's pretty close enough. Anybody who just stares at a chart, do you see a common pattern here? up, down, up, down. Okay. Now it did lose the regression channel, but would you buy it here or would you buy it from the up? I'd buy here and I'd try to get to this level. Okay. You can do a double bottom with a higher leg up with the second leg and give a price target of 2. And you see my target as 100% extension. Sometimes that's why I say, like, sometimes I don't have to draw regression, or I'm sorry, I don't have to draw Fibonacci, because from experience you can just tell from eye point of view where things align with the candles and everything, so you can clearly guess where things are gonna go. You might not even draw any kind of extension. There you go. Target 744, 766, and 839. Where would I put a stop loss? If you're an investor, I don't care about stop losses. Like, if you're investing in the company, I wouldn't care. If you're doing tight, like swing day trading, then of course tight stop losses is your friend. I would say 640 would be my stop loss. Or you can establish another stop loss, or another level, by just getting the high of this top and the low of this bottom. Okay, that's not even aligning with anything because it already broke the levels that I wanted to see. So that's not going to happen. So 640 would be my area, okay, of stop loss. I would think that it's going to go to 839, and it's reasonable. But before that, 744, 766 is going to be a very harsh level, a strong resistance level that you need to get over. The price to get over. Next up on our list is Twitter. Now Twitter has been beaten down. I don't know what was going on with the earnings. I don't know what it was, but it basically got destroyed. I don't know if it's the monthly users thing. I don't know if it's the Trump banning. I don't know what it was. Kathy bought a lot of shares from here. So should you? I don't care if she bought it, because she can always buy it more, right? We can't. When we buy things, I mean, we don't have unlimited source of money. We don't have a fund, money funneling over our account. So when you do these types of things, you'd have to be reasonable. Like, I mean, again, I don't manage a fund that has billions of dollars. So honestly speaking, I wouldn't, follow her actions. Or if I do, I'd look at the percentage of her account buy. So if she bought with her, 1% of her account, then you can buy like 2% of your account. It doesn't mean you go 100% of your account. Honestly, this is I put some levels here. So 52.93, let's say 53 is a level you need to watch. Resistance is going to be 56. Huge gap. I mean, I do see an opportunity, but then the opportunity, if you look at 5 years, there is no opportunity. The opportunity you think off of this fall is an opportunity. I don't think so. It is actually not an opportunity. You see how critical this level is? It's not even a joke. Okay. Here you go. It's not even a joke that, let's move this and let's say here. $52, $52.50 level is so critical on the weekly chart, because when we invest in things, guys, a lot of you all think like, all right, we invest and we look at like 30 minutes, 40 minutes, whatever, like, I'm sorry, not 30. We look at 30 minutes, we look at hour chart. Institutions look at weekly charts, okay? They literally care less about your short term. Okay, there you go. So they don't care about what's going to happen in the short term. They look at it in the long term. Now, if you think this is a gift, then maybe, but Look where the stock is coming from. Okay, and it better get protected at $52, $52.50 level. And when, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks in a row, 6 weeks, it went up from 45 to 80, almost 100%. Okay, and then now it's going down, and it might very well go down to 45 again, or retest the cloud top on the weekly. We don't know. So at this point, I can't really tell you, jump in Twitter, it's a value, it's a discount. Why? Because I'm looking at the long term and I'm saying it's not a discount. Potential upside. Now the bullish scenario, okay? If, now you gotta watch, you gotta listen to me carefully. If mid-level down, top level, and the bottom of the channel. If 5250 is protected, okay, you can go up towards $58, retest for a potential, okay. These are not elite waves. I have no clue about elite waves, okay. This is just going up the midline, coming back, testing the previous top of these candles, going up, testing the bottom of the cloud, coming and getting another support at this trend that we drew, testing the cloud top, coming back, testing the candle bottoms here, and then moving up. So these are, I don't literally like zigzag. I look at some of the candle bottoms and downs like here, like you see this where it aligns, okay? I don't just like bullshit and just do a random zigzag. Where is this lining up? Okay, you see this top, bottom, bottom, top, cloud top, okay, cloud top, okay. So I don't do BS zigzagging. Now the time might be off. I don't know about the timings, but there you go. That would be your move if 5250 gets protected, okay. Other than that, if you lose 5250, good luck, because you're going to go down to 47. But 5250, very critical for Twitter. Okay. Next up is Unity. Now, before I said I loved, you know, it was an opportunity, and the 61.8 was a big resistance, and it just dropped down, killed it. So when I go for these swings, you always remember, when you have a very short term target, like 2 weeks, 1 week, maybe 3 days, okay, you need to have a stop loss. If you're a long-term investor, first of all, you don't really, like when you're day trading, you don't put like $1,000 and expect to get $1,000. You play with big money, and that 1% will gain you like $1,000, $2,000. That 1%, 2% move. So you have to have tight stop losses, because then you would be holding a bag. When you're doing long term, you don't put all your 100,000. What you do is you put like, you know, 5%, 10% of your portfolio to a stock. Maybe, you know, you have like 5-6 stocks in your portfolio, and you put like, you know, 15 or 10% for each stock, and then get 50% cash, and then eventually just keep on adding and averaging till you go to a point where you think you can get out. However, with these, you know, if you're doing a swing position, you have to have tight stops. So let's do a regression on this. Is this the bottom that you want to trade for a next potential up? Maybe so. Next potential up would be the cloud bottom, which is 998, okay? So this will be an area that I would probably, if I'm doing a swing trading on this one, I would aim for 98, and I would hold my stop loss right around $88.63. Very tight stop loss, and aim for the cloud top or the midline of this regression, which is about 96 to 98 area. Okay. Where could it potentially go down if it breaks down this channel. We can take a look. Well, it's a new stock anyways. It's like a recent IPO, but this level is pretty good support, and this level is a pretty good support. Okay. So what are they? I can read it. Let's go ahead and delete all this. Keep the chart less busy. These are the supports: 88.63, 86.38, and 80.94. So give or take, you can round off a couple cents here and there, but those would be your support. Resistance is going to be the cloud bottom, which is 97. Okay. Last stock of the day, and it's been more than an hour. Uber. Let's take a look. Uber lost its trading range, so let's zoom out. Let's delete all this. And I've been always spot on with Uber, pretty much. Short term, long term, doesn't matter. This is a chart that I was pretty much pretty consistent. I don't know if I reviewed Uber recently or if I reviewed Uber from TradingView chart, but this is a big no-no in a chart. Okay, there you go. Big no. Rounding top. Another big no. You lost the footing. There you go. It's a sometimes we call this a backwards reverse cup and handle, like how we have the reverse head and shoulder, inverse head and shoulder. This would be an inverse cup and handle. Okay, and it's usually a sign. It's a bearish sign. A lot of you guys can say, well, economy is opening up, people will use Uber. Yeah, I understand that, but that's not what the chart is telling me. 44.50 should hold. Okay. If 44.50 doesn't hold, then you're looking at a major breakdown of this. These are the levels. Okay. There you go. These are all the levels you can write down. 44.50, 42.50, 40.50, and 38.40. These are all the levels that if it continues to drop and a huge sell, a lot of things are selling, and SPY and all the other ETFs that I reviewed today are going up. I just don't understand where the money is going. Maybe the value stocks that we never review, Walmart, GE, Coca-Cola, I don't know. I don't know where the money, like I need to look at all the other sectors too, but mostly the ones that you guys are giving me are the ones that I'm looking at. Money is taken out from here. So the chart is pretty much broken down at this point. And what a coincidence, guys. I'm reviewing Uber and then I've just received an email from Uber. I guess they must be hearing me reviewing their stock. But that's it. It looks bearish. You're going to probably get a down till 44.50. The chart looks bearish at this point with a rounding top. Well, why are you so negative? Can you give us at least one positive path? That would be your play. Okay, $50. And it would not, I would say that if it tests 44, 45, that's when you play. I wouldn't get in until then. And why am I giving you that target? Look where it's aligning, the gap fill, okay? And where the arch is, the inverse cup, where the arch is playing, okay? That's what I would do. And that's it, guys. So I try to do TradingView for one thing, because not everybody has toss, think or swim. You have to have think or swim account or TD Ameritrade account, and you can log in from there. I just thought that TradingView is free to everybody, and it saves your stuff on cloud anyway, so you can work on it as I do. You can watch the video and like basically draw things how I did it. And sometimes also TradingView has this community. I don't know how to get there. One second. I think you can do like tradingview.com and get, I hate Bing. You see how slow it is? There you go. Wow, that was slow. Okay. So tradingview.com, you can go there. You can also look at ideas of other people. You have to search, like, let's say Uber, right? You just reviewed Uber. And you can click on ideas, and you can see other people giving, other things. Of course, like they might not always be correct. One cool thing is this, right? So you look at the guy, he did this, it's a diamond formation, it's bearish. You can click play. He was correct. Okay. So that's how you can, and you can follow up people. Guy has a premium account. I don't know what that literally means, but so you can see like how the diamond formation works. The guy did a great analysis on this one. You can test. The cool thing is this play button that you can test to see, and he was correct, absolutely right. He said the top and the bottom, and it gave out perfectly. So I'm not the only one in the world to be able to chart. Okay, there are other great chartists out there, and what makes you, or what will make you better chartist, is to see as many charts as possible and see the charts that failed, the charts that worked. So I mean, great try, because you're sitting at the bottom of the channel, so you're seeing that it might have an 11% opportunity. That is correct. But when you're sitting at the bottom of the channel, you also have to have very tight stops. And this is, I don't know, this is basically an hour chart. Yeah, 1 hour chart. So you can guess, like Elliott wave. The guy did a wave theory here, and it blew out. Okay. You can also fix the chart up here. Okay. It's a great tool. TradingView is a great tool. See, sometimes Elliott wave does not work. Okay. Just like any other theory, it's not always 100% correct. So you get the point. You get the point. I mean, I should post charts on TradingView too, but this is the issue. How many places am I going to post charts in? I mean, I have jobs, like I can't just sit down and post charts day and night. Oh, by the way, before I do close the video, somebody did mention, so I just want to do that. So this is the beauty of Twitter, is that when people do request, last second, I almost forgot. Let's review that as well. I'm going to add it. Where was it? Yeah, so Chainlink. So I requested them what the ticker was. Okay, there you go. That's what he wanted. I don't know why he's comparing it to Chain. Is this like, I don't know. I'll do whatever he says, so it's not my fault. Chainlink, we'll go in and try to see what I clicked on the ticker. It just didn't work. Let's see. Chainlink to this. All right. I don't know what Tetherus is. Maybe Chainlink to US dollar would be a better measurement. All right. So obviously, this is a bullish chart, no doubt about it, and it's flagging. However, I'm not an expert on crypto, and I don't know how cryptos work in a sense that, like, if let's say Bitcoin blows up, would it affect Link? Because like we have things like, if let's say something happens to Twitter, you'll see Snap reacting with it, or if something happens to Uber, you'll have Lyft reaction. So I don't know how things work in the crypto world. So I'm not gonna try to sound smart when I chart this. I'm just gonna draw it as if I'm drawing a regular chart. One thing to watch out, even though it's flagging, okay? No doubt that it's bullish. It's flagging. One thing that you would want to watch out is because it's at the top of the the trend. And it already hit the 100% extension. We might be a little late in the game, and we might want to look for a bounce. And that bounce, my buying point will be, I can tell you that really quick, in this zone right here. Okay, that's where my buying point will be. And forgive me if I'm like really bad at this, because honestly, actually right here, honestly, because I have no clue how like Link works or Bitcoin works or like how charts in the crypto world works, but I would honestly buy zone would be 44 for me. I'm very defensive when I buy stocks. Sometimes I do get emotional, no doubt. So I would just look for this. Even though it's flagging, we clearly saw, okay, we clearly saw from this extension that it has already reached 100%. Okay, it has reached 100%. I can move it up. Let's do this just to make people happy. There you go. You can buy in this zone, 43 to 40. Okay, that's what your buying zone should be if it pulls back. If it breaks out, then you're looking at 63. But that's it for my link. Good thing I remembered, because this was last second. So I think these are the zones, and I based it off of Chainlink US dollar, off of Bitstamp. I don't know if it makes a difference between Binance or other companies, but that would be my technical analysis for this Bitcoin, or not Bitcoin, sorry, coin itself, crypto coin. Okay, that's it, guys. It's more than an hour. I think I've tried to do my best with some of the stocks that I've known already, and some of them seen for the first time and charted off of scratch. So I hope you liked it. Give us a like, give us a subscribe to follow up with the newer videos, weekly videos, and stay safe.